We got ourselves a new video from Sinchi called the Solo Leveling Season 2 episode was unexpected. I see we have Jenna in the beginning. Are we gonna do some sister leveling memes in the beginning?
You know, I was thinking, maybe we could go on a...
my brother?
Maybe.
Solo Leveling Season...
What the fuck? Is that chin pointy enough for you guys? Song Chin Woo, baby. The Chin Monarch.
Solo Leveling Season 2 Episode 3 was surprisingly really good. I would say it was visually one of, if not the best from the series. This is not recency bias.
Okay.
Maybe it is. But some of the art direction and overall...
Yeah, the flames here, right? The composition, the coloring of like the demon castle was fucking great.
Visual cohesion is much better compared to, let's say, Episode 7's Demon Castle. I mean, we got to see some Minecraft leveling, like mining diamonds, going on a shipwreck, going to the nether, and even last episode, talking to miners. In terms of animation...
Talking to miners, huh? Hey, what's the problem, huh? So what? So what?
Last episode...
So what?
Talking to miners. In terms of animation power, of course, it's not close to some of the best action-oriented Soul Leveling episodes.
Yeah.
It was again not a prioritized episode. This is more evident this time. There were some returning names from episode 2. Soul Leveling is not a JJK, Chainsaw Man, Cloverworks, Umehara line. They don't have the biggest team for the show. It's just a collective of...
Man, that intro Makima scene actually goes so hard. The more I look at this scene, look at it again.
Don't have the biggest team for the show.
The way that the capes are fluttering, the camera angle position right at the ground so you can fucking bark for Makima. This is such an imposing angle as we first get introduced to this character in Chainsaw Man episode 1, I think. Like, shit like this, I just can't, like, appreciate back in the day when my third eye has not been awakened in trying to see and understand what the hell production value really is. Like, I could probably fundamentally, like, instinctively feel that this is a cool scene, but, like, why is it a cool scene?
It's just a collective of a few main animators and action
Probably move my fucking name out of here so you guys can see the names.
directors that corrects a lot of the action. With some very talented freelancers along the way, since Kaneko, the anime for Soul Leveling, was on SAO Ordinal Scale and above. There was a lot of talent on there. That's
amazing.
Why Verkreek was in Soul Leveling. He was a new animator when he worked on Alicization, but now he's a household name, making the big highlights.
Yeah, these are some amazing scenes. Frieren, the height of magic scene, bro. What else was here? This is like Alicization when Shinon, you know, in goddess form was popping off. JJK coming up soon too.
Some shows, but Kaneko still had that connection with Verkreek. Then Verkreek had time, so he animated that episode. Asuna's ass was the best animated scene in SAO.
That scene, what was the point of that, bro? I straight up had to put I had to transition an overlay so that we wouldn't get banned on Twitch for that like 3 seconds of Asuna's nipples and Alicization. Like sorry, ordinal skill. What is the point of that? It literally adds nothing to the story. I'm like trying to not get myself banned because people are like, yo, they show nipples in this movie.
Episode covered chapter 56 to half of chapter 61. There was some content stuff with the bar scene, Jinho and his dad talk. There was another person that appeared because they wasn't just talking about handing over the Yujin guild to Jinho. I don't want to reveal it since it may get added later. Okay. I don't know.
Maybe spoilers.
Scene with this guy was not in a car in the manhwa, and also the...
Why was it not in a car in the manhwa? So that they could show Heejin's ass in a skirt blouse here. That's my take. If it was not in the car, then why animate this scene focusing her hips and ass? Fan service.
With this guy was not in a car in the manhwa, and also the reveal of the ant evolving, getting wings.
Not yet.
Wings was actually here in chapter 56. Compared to the anime, they teased it in the last episode of season 1. There's more content stuff, so you can check out Chromafire's tweet about that stuff, or wait for a content video from someone.
Oh, we could actually farm Chromafire's tweets then, huh? Thank you, Rasengan Khan, for the 2 months of Prime. Appreciate that, man. But rather than just waiting for Annie's cut content, we could straight up just farm Chromafire's tweets too.
I don't know. This episode was directed by Koji Furukawa and storyboarded by Hiroki Hirano. Furukawa, from the looks of it, is a in-house staff member.
Okay, what do we got? We got Made in Abyss, Rising of the Shield here, as you can see there, right? This is My Happy Marriage, I think, and Solo Leveling as well.
In Kinema Citrus, judging from his credits, this is his first time working on a project outside of the studio, and Hirano's appearance was a surprise. I had to double check it. It is that Hirano. He was the assistant director for Mushoku Tensei Season 1, then became the Season 2 director for MT for just Part 1. I'm guessing his storyboard slash directing work from SEO Azusa.
My man decided to just direct the erectile dysfunction arc and then fuck off. Now, I'm sure there's more reasons as to why he was only part of Arc 1, but bro really wanted to cover the erectile dysfunction arc.
Got him to Solo Leveling. His storyboarding parts in Mushoku Tensei Season 1 was not the craziest. It looked great. I'm not gonna go and watch the episodes. I'm too lazy to do that. He did direct episode 1 and 2 from Season 1, so that's great. For Season 2, the most standout episode he did was storyboarding episode 9. The Nanahoshi episode.
Oh yeah, her freaking out.
From Part 2, Season 2. And of course, Season 2 overall had a terrible schedule. They changed series director mid-core. That's just... No. This episode was definitely not that action heavy since this was...
Did we notice any differences in Mushoku Tensei Core 1 and Core 2? I'm talking about like, changing directors is probably not a good thing at all, right? You really want to have one person with the vision in mind to really just oversee everything and deliver, right? Switching mid-scenes again, maybe bro just wanted to have the erectile dysfunction arc covered. I think that Core 2 was amazing, but then again, I'd have to go back and really analyze each frame because I just wasn't watching with my third eye awakened. But I do remember the Father's Day episode, and that shit was so peak that I'm just gonna forget everything else.
Or that's just... No, this episode was definitely not that action heavy since this was more of a plot driven episode. The complaints I saw that this episode felt short because people felt like they didn't know what to focus on, which I kinda get. I mean,
I feel like they did a really good job in balancing all the plot related stuff with Jinho and Father, the guild talk, more setup for the Jeju Ant raid, you know, anime only fan service, Chahein, you know, Song Il-won, right? Jinmu's dad, you know, interrogation scene with Dongsu, while at the same time balancing the demon castle farming, which was settled with like a montage where instead of focusing so much on these random fights that might not be the most important thing, we kind of just like speed forward. And I thought that it was handled well. A lot of people are saying that it was like rushed and it cut a lot of stuff out, but I don't really want to spend all time just fucking farming random demon mobs that you don't really care about, right? There's not really any threats, but rather having like this montage scene where we're fucking flexing on every demon mob. It felt really good.
That's what happens when you mostly faithfully adapt the fight from the manhwa. But I love the additional character focus scenes with like Chahein.
Character focus indeed. Again, she was apparently not even introduced into the story yet in the source material. But they're doing all of this shit just for you guys.
Yeah. And since I am a manhwa reader, I don't want to get too spoily, but the biggest complaint I have is the character relationships, character growth, or characters that should be more important and more involved are just sidelined. Hopefully they fix most of that stuff in future events. Also, I don't know why the shot of Chahein reminds me of that Classroom Elite illustration.
What the? Why? Kid Koji? White Room had a pool? What? I don't care about this. This is like spoiler out of context.
Where Ayano Koji was sitting beside the pool.
Volume 0. White Room stuff. People are... Yeah. Volume 0 is like what people were begging me to fucking react to for the light. Now that's the White Room stuff, right? Interesting. Okay.
No, that was random. Kiano's board.
Why did you brought that? Did you like the lolly or did you like the show that they're Sinchi? Maybe both.
Are really nice in all occasions. The Demon Castle part is a definite upgrade compared.
I love this scene, bro. Oh, bro. The aura. Igris leading the charge. The boys just all fucking walking. The bear standing up, just fucking walking, bro. I love this scene.
Compared to the fight with Cerberus, not that much. I know it's a different level, but the pink flames really complements Jinwoo and all the other shadows really well, while showcasing more of the other Demon Castle levels with sometimes very competent.
The red really does highlight the contrast with the blue, right? It's like conflicting colors. The black and bluish white, the light blue and black gets brought out because of the red background, which also plays in with the demons.
With sometimes very competent animation. Now, the complaints I had for episode 7 was kind of fixed a bit.
the red was too dark, right? It was too saturated here. But this red here is like more pinkish, which really like brings it out. It's too dark and dense here back in season 1.
The background textures in the Cerberus fight was over textured in the final product that
Okay.
didn't really complement the animation. But for
Textured.
these two cuts, it's better, especially this one. From the looks of it, the background textures was actually drawn individually.
Okay.
I think you can see it moving if you slow it down compared to this one where it's just a simple tone color.
Igris get Igris ass on display.
With placed textures, which was better compared to season 1, but
Yeah.
it's not the best. All of the animation was really good. This background is really good. If you focus more, you can see there's 3 colors. There's
Yeah, the shading, the lighter, and the darker red.
the darker one, the lighter one, and the one that's in the middle tone
Okay.
with less opacitated brush to not overpower the main color. The
I'm
last
looking,
level that was
I'm
shown
looking.
this episode was one of the best looking things visually this series. The hand-drawn flags really gets the atmosphere more.
Hand-drawn moving flags here rather than it being just like CG background.
This level so well, and the art direction itself is phenomenal.
I love this scene. With the big giant red moon thing in the background, giant throne, Sung Jin-woo showing up right over here, right over here, and the boss looking up, looking shocked like in Kaiju 8, him swooping down, looking like fucking Isagi after he scores the goal at the end of U20 arc. This scene was pure aura.
While there's a lot of just panning shots, it gets the scale across well,
Yeah.
and Jinwoo keeps aura farming.
Yes, he does.
I thought this was harder. I would never guess that. My
I love this fucking face. This is such a good face, bro.
name is Sung Jin-woo, the monarch, the guy that can arise a lot of people while simultaneously trying to save my mother. The color design is great with a simple panning up shot, and the soundtrack playing in the background was so good.
Yeah.
Sawano, good. With the little details adding.
Hiroyuki Sawano, one of the goats of musical compositions in anime, bro.
The background was so good. Sawano.
He's 44 years old, huh? Okay, he's been doing this shit since 2006. He's been doing this since age of 17. This guy's the goat, man.
Good. With the little details adding a light flare on the dagger to give off more
true.
aura, I guess. Even for the dialogue stuff, it's more interesting. It keeps you engaged, utilizing different shots rather than just close-up face character 1, then close-up face character 2.
Yeah, and this is what I mean by meeting scenes, yapping scenes. They don't need to be boring. You look at 10 Story Season 3, that's exactly what they did. No, it's just such a lazy cinematography where it's just looking at one person and their mouth not even fucking moving half the time, right? The way that they did the meeting scenes in the exposition here, showing the background and other stuff, it really keeps you engaged.
Close-up face character 1, then close-up face character 2, with even correlating the dialogue, like this scene with Jinwoo being Jinho's imaginary brother, then the shot goes to this, where their faces aren't shown, or this shot with Dad, when
their faces aren't shown, to show that they are brothers. The poetry, despite them not being blood related.
or this shot with Dad, when they say about the gates, we zoom back on Dad trapped in a cell or something. And the interrogation scene was the best example. Hiroki's boards really keeps the tension and builds up to it, using distorted shots when
True, right? The angle here, the room right now, it curves around, right? Stuff like this really adds the intensity and the ominous nature of the interrogation scene.
talking about stuff that could destroy the world, and when the tension is higher, you see the camera slowly rotating, or the shot completely turned red, reflecting from like a alarm thing. When Hwang Dong-soo lied about Jinwoo's death because he thinks he died from the red gate. Gate?
Bro doesn't know.
Gate?
Gate.
Edge.
What? Where the fuck were we going with that one? We got a wrestling meme coming in.
Edge? He does this.
What? I underestimated his power scaling there. He had one more layer.
Gate.
Yeah.
8. Edge.
Edge.
Edge? He
Gooning.
does this quite a bit in Mushoku Tensei, using clever framing work to imply more from a shot, with using objects and such. Talking more about the action parts, it's still good with a lot of limitations.
Yeah, I think that episode 2 was way more hype though in terms of action, right? My favorite action sequence here is when Jinwoo used the ruler's hand to cleverly beat that thick ass demon.
Since it's not really an important fight, there were some janky movements, weird
demon,
zoom
bro.
outs, and in-betweening errors. It's nitpicky, but if you see this Chahain shot,
Yeah, I'm
the
looking
sudden
at it.
jump of the drawings was weird.
I can't. What's jumping? Fuck. What's happening? Let's go frame by frame. What? Let's see it one more time, okay? I'm playing literally frame by frame right now, okay? Ready? Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess you see how I was counting each frame there, right? I was going 1/60th of a second every time using the YouTube, player, going frame by frame. And because there wasn't movement at each frame, or there was like, different partitions of the intervals and the amount of frames that it took to get to a new art, is that the bad part? I don't know. I genuinely, people are too fucking down bad and horny to even realize these little flaws, right?
The sudden jump of the drawings was weird. It's because of lack of in-betweenings. Again,
Lack of in-betweenings. Yeah, there we go. So I was right. Notice how I counted every single frame, but you didn't get to see a change in the art in every frame. And there was also not like a constant interval, right? So it really was that the lack of in-betweening.
Again, nitpicky. Before the main fight.
Yeah, but again, this is like, we're really like splitting the fucking hairs right now, trying to find a reason to, just fixate on something. It's not a big deal. He even says it himself.
This sequence where Jinwoo used his ruler's hand thing like a boomerang was so smooth. The smearing work, effects, and the camera work tracking the dagger really makes it more fluid. Most of the fight with Jinwoo and this fat pig Vulcan was mostly corrected by Horikatsu Mariyama as the action director this episode. Most of the sequences are still artist unknown, so if there is additional confirmation about who.
Why would it be artist unknown? I thought that people would want their names to be recognized, or maybe they're just a bunch of no-name talents that doesn't get an opportunity to, I guess, plug their names on.
Did who? I'll edit it as usual, top left. Hirano's action boards really gets the speed really well, even with limitations. He uses eye flares to give more visual direction.
Yeah,
on where
baby.
Vulcan came from.
I love that shit. Even Vulcan right here, right? One of my favorite things is like this kind of stuff, where you see the laser eyes and it's smearing across.
Came from, and this POV shot where Jinwoo blinked, then he just suddenly vanished.
Boom.
Amazing. The
Nothing
sense of scale too, laying out good framing work.
True. Look at that angle, right? Look at the like size of that hammer, blunt object weapon coming down on the soldiers down here, right? You got 4 separate soldiers, and the width of that blunt weapon is greater than that.
Work that makes Vulcan really big compared to Jinwoo. Hirokazu Mariyama's corrections really gives more impact in a more fluid nature compared to if Kano corrects action. He uses a lot of really visible smears and effects.
I love smears.
There's an assumption if Mariyama actually added the effects or not, but looking from his
wait. This is SAO, right? This is the War of the Underworld, where we have the martial artist, right? We got the martial artist dude fighting against, our kudere, fencing girl, the champion. Yeah.
effects or not, but looking from his previous works, he does use a lot of effects. And ass cheek, they added wind effects.
Yeah, this is the scene, bro. God bless this scene. Literally, only reason that this ass cheek exists is for fan service and for people to talk about it and for people to use it on their thumbnails for it to go viral online, bro. This scene, like, you guys might think that it's a joke, but genuinely, do you know how many people were reusing this frame over and over again in season 1, leading up to the episode 2 for the trailer? Shit like this is what makes things go viral and a lot more people to talk about it.
The added wind effects and smokes really again gives off that scale with really complex perspectives. Jinwoo's hoodie slowly tearing off looks great. The individual cloth separating looks annoying.
We should have that for Chahayan's pants separating.
To draw, like that one tweet I saw, an animator.
That's a nightmare, bro. Drawing individual fucking rice grains. Hell no. Oh hell no! Could you imagine? And like people can't even appreciate this because it's just like to them it's just like a cooking scene of fucking fried rice. But when you need to actually animate this shit, like the amount of effort it takes and the amount of like payoff there is in return, it's not equivalent.
Drawing every grain of rice, and it does move a lot than I
Fuck.
expected. Crazy.
But like most people will never be able to appreciate that, right? It'll just go over their heads. Well, like the people that need to work on it to actually give it that kind of motion has to put in so much time.
Camera work of Iron throwing his shield to Jinwoo, and the timing itself, fast camera rotations, then revealing Vulcan's attack in slow-mo. You can see his hammer thing didn't really move that much, but with the added wind effects, it gives off.
It looks like it's moving, just like Blue Lock. A standard Blue Lock technique of adding these fucking effects to make the illusion that it's moving.
That force with aggressive smears. Also, props to the staff for consistently having 2D creatures. Even with the smaller monsters, they usually use CG for the shadow soldiers, but sometimes you can barely see if it's CG or not. Again, I might sound like a broken record, but the added wind effects give so much force to every attack.
Yes, I think that these, and the wind effects too, and you get to see like the ripples of Iron Shield effect, you know? You get to see like the smokes happening, right? Every time he gets beaten down, boom, you get to see the smoke, right? The wind effect, boom. But then as soon as that happens too, you get to see like the distortion of the shield too, with all these rippling effects that creates this like more engaging, impactful attacks.
Even when the weapon is not on screen as much. And with the slow-mo, I mean, this little cut of Jinwoo is the same shit as Maruyama's cut in the OP. With Jongin, this episode had limited resources, so they couldn't really have shots that's like this, where the full body is showing. So you use tricks to...
But I'd argue that maybe it's even more impressive that in an episode where it's like downtime and not the most priority, that you deliver something really great with little to work with, you know? Min-maxing. This is how you fucking min-max. Not like fucking 8-bit studios, you know, and PNG log. That is definitely a technique to use min-maxing, but this is definitely a much better, higher tier of min-maxing. Doing the most with the least amount of resources you have.
Hide that stuff so it's easier to animate. With clever boards and like having smears or character revealing from the smoke. Vulcan's running can be a bit goofy at times.
Funny. Yeah, it's hilarious because he's so fucking huge and wobbly.
Illustrated background mixes really well with the characters here.
Look at him, he's such a thick ass boy. It really doesn't help that his belly, bro. His belly reminds me of a fucking nutsack.
Here, this shot of Jinwoo is daddy worthy.
Yeah, the girls love this part of the body, by the way. Did you know that a lot of the girls, they love forearms, they love broad shoulders, stuff like that. But like the collarbone area, like collarbone, neck bone, something like a lot of girls like enjoy this part, as Sinchi calls him Sung Jin Daddy here.
While the final attack was limited, again, the staging for this scene really sells it well, especially the detailed effects, like this blood shit looks so good. I forgot to mention, Hirotaka Tokuda is chief ADing this episode. He is my favorite among the 3 chief AD, with Tomoko Sudo and Chiaki Furuzumi. He draws the jaw not sharp, as you can see in some instances.
Not as sharp.
He's the monster designer for Soul Leveling, so there is a chance that he also corrected some of the drawings for the monster this episode. A lot of really good lore drops this time around, and some tidbits of action. I am excited for the future episodes. We are closing in from a really good fight, large scale at that, so hopefully it can deliver more. Ooh. I don't want to blabber on more.
Yeah, like the real priority episodes are about to, you know, be upon us. Wait for that ones, man.
I don't want to edit that much. If you guys like this video, leave
yes,
a
sir.
like. If you
didn't, leave a like.
Comment down below where.
His outro. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a like. Comment below. Please go check out Sinchi's channel if you care about solo leveling or anything related to production value, as he will help you awaken your third eye as well. Give it a like. Go check out his channel. There's a link. See you next time.